Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are here for the second last race of season 1 in our Formula 1 23 driver career mode with AlphaTauri, and we are heading towards the end of the season. I am looking forward to getting the heck off this team because I want to compete for wins, I want to compete for podiums, and ultimately I want to compete for a drivers championship. I think we've had enough development to really make a push for one of the top teams, preferably Red Bull, as I want to race Max Verstappen for the Drivers' Championship, as Sergio Perez is right now, which might cause some issues. Maybe they don't want to make space for me because of the season Sergio Perez has had, because he has a chance here, not in this race, but if he does well in this race here, he will have a shot in the finale to win the Drivers' Championship, take it out of Max Verstappen's hands in the same machinery. But we are here for qualifying in Las Vegas, and with this car that we have, our pace does not feel great at all in this car, but we're going to try our best here, see what we can do. Also, if you guys have not watched the last video, be sure to hit the link up top. Go watch that before I spoil anything. It was quite an interesting race, to say the least. We, spoiler alert now, did not finish. We got into a major incident with Charles Leclerc, who decided to dive bomb. I forgot what turn number it was, but just at the start of Sector 2, or just before, there's that right-hander kink. And he dive bombed it, took us out of the race. Grand Yu Joe also crashed into us, taking him out of the race as well. And we did not score any points. We haven't scored any points since Qatar, so we're going on race number 3 now without a point. So we're gonna see if we can fix that here. We also got a pretty worn out power unit, as most of our components here are like over 30% at least. We got the gearbox, turbocharger, and ICE over 50%, over 60% as a matter of fact. And because of that, we are going to swap out these components at the end of qualifying here and take an engine penalty. I figured this is the time to do so, because at the moment, we are in a race with Alpine and Esteban Ocon for P11 in the Drivers' Championship, and then P6, I believe, in the Constructors' Championship. Esteban Ocon's currently 1 point behind me in the Drivers' Championship, and then Alpine's 2 points behind us in the Constructors' Championship. So they have an opportunity to pass us here, and with Danny Ricciardo pretty much doing nothing this whole season, he had 2 points in Australia, and that is it. If they finish in front of us, they have a good shot of taking that spot, and I would like to keep that for the moment for bragging rights over the Alpine team, and obviously to boost my stock going into free agency for you North American sports fans come next season. But we're going to cross the line here at the end of Q1, and we are out. Our pace was just not there. We tried to pick up a slipstream off of Albon even down the strip. This track is mostly straights, but it was not enough. We're just not fast enough down the straights. We are out in Q1. Daniel Ricciardo just squeezes into Q2, so this is the second time now he's outqualified us this season, but he only finishes in P15. So we're still pretty close. We got the Alfa Romeo in front of us, and then the 2 Haas's. So hopefully we can make our way through those drivers, get into the top 15, maybe get in the points if we're super lucky. But let's get into this Grand Prix. All right, time for the Grand Prix here in Las Vegas. We got that engine penalty, so we are at the back of the grid, and I have almost no hopes for this race. If I remember correctly, we did not even get out of Q1. I recorded a few days ago, so my memory is not that great. But I just remember it being a horrible qualifying. So we're going to see here what we can do with our new, essentially entirely new power unit. We've replaced most of the components, and we've taken that engine penalty. Put us in a better spot for Abu Dhabi, because I don't have too much hopes for this race, as the straight here just really kills us, I think. And then the car overall, obviously, as I've been saying this whole season, not great. So we're starting behind Alex Albon in P20, and then the people we are focusing on here is Alpine, because they are starting in P10 and P11. Ocon's in P10, Gasly in P11. Ocon is 2 points behind us in the Drivers' Championship, and I believe Alpine is also 2 points behind us in the Constructors Championship. So hopefully they can stay away from P9. Hopefully they fall back, but it's not looking good right now. Daniel Ricciardo out-qualifies us for the second time only this season. He's starting up, I believe, in P15? Or 15 or 14. Some drivers, such as myself and Lando Norris, have suffered engine penalties, so he moves up a spot or two. And yeah, we're heading down the straight here, trying to get these tires warmed up. We're starting on the soft tires, seeing if we can get an aggressive start on Albon to start off this race. We're going to line up the car very much to the left, as we're starting at the back, so we got a little bit of a bend before we actually head into turn 1. So let's get on the grid here. Let's see what we could do in Las Vegas. Hopefully we can recover from a very poor weekend, but only time will tell here. Let's get right into this Grand Prix. Alright, here we go for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We got 5 red lights here, and this race is underway, and we're hoping to get a good start on these soft tires here. And we're going to get the jump on Albon, see if we can just dive down the inside here of turn 1. And look at that, we jumped 4 spots to start off this race. We got Kevin Magnussen just behind us, and pretty good start here. Now let's see how our pace is with this new power unit. We're going to use a little bit of battery because the field up front is already starting to spread out here. And who is this? Hulkenberg already trying to go for a move? No, Magnussen, not Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg's right in front of us, so we're in a hot sandwich right now. And Ricciardo going for a move around the outside, at least trying to. We're trying to defend. We got to leave Magnussen that space, and we got a little bit of contact. So we're kind of just fighting for our lives here. So there's a lot of traffic, a lot of opportunity as Ricciardo's going to get out in front of Hulkenberg as we head towards the big straight down the Las Vegas Strip. That traffic really helping us close in here, as we're going to try and go for an overtake on Hulkenberg, as we're going to be right up on his bumper. And oh my god, I think we touched. But we're going to take it nice and easy into turn 1. Push Hulkenberg towards the outside of the track. Oh my gosh, if we lose grip through turn 1, but Hulkenberg has a little bit of a slip up as well. Okay, so we're close. Logan starts to go for the move now. We got to watch our battery here because we're already at 20%. We're only 4 laps into this race. Yeah, so we have fell behind Nico Hulkenberg, and look at this. Everyone here's got DRS. We got 27% battery in the tank. We're going to try and just pick up on Logan Sargent's slipstream here, because that will help us keep ourselves in this race. And look at this, we're going like 4 wide here. Oh my god, we have contact with Magnussen, and we are dropping a bunch of places as Grand New Joe tries to go for a move, and he scrapes the wall. I think he just lost his front wing. That's not my fault. That's a racing incident. I'm not taking any blame on that one. Joe just a little too aggressive, but we're down into P19 now, as we're already starting to lose. Wait, what? We got damage on that? Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know what to do here. We're already so far back. We've lost all our pace. It was a really good start. We'll just accept it. Or maybe we should just box now, go on the hards, because these soft tires are not working at all. And maybe the hard tires will save us if we just pit now. I'm not sure if we got damage or if the rear tires are just gone, because we got no grip. As you can see, we are struggling to get out of every single corner. We're going to box this lap. Hopefully it's damage, and hopefully the hard tires will help us get to the end of the race. So let's box here. I've already set the hard tires. We're gonna box here as this race is already over. Look how far behind we are. We're 6 seconds behind Magnussen, and maybe we can get the spot back on Grand New Joe. Nope, doesn't look like it. This is probably the worst race of the season. Oh my god, this is bad. Let's get into the pits here. No damage it looks like, as they're only changing the tires, and we're on these hard tires until the end of the race now. Hopefully the tire wear is better. So Grand New Joe's in the pits, and this is our opportunity now to, I guess, get back in this race. The battle for not being last place is about to begin, as Ricciardo also has gone into the pits. Now Harvey coming out in front of Grand New Joe. I think he's coming out of the pit lane right now, and I don't see him. No, he's behind me. I don't know where that pit lane exit is exactly. But when you're driving around the outside of that turn, but we are way in front of Granny Joe. I feel like he probably had damage or something, or I think he did actually, when he went into the wall there, but he never pitted, he just decided to stay out. So he probably has a new wing as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if he catches up, because we are just so slow on this track. It's awful. It's kind of embarrassing for this channel how slow we are in Vegas this time around, but I am going to blame that on the car, as I have been doing all season long. We did this in my two career mode, and we fared a little better. We didn't win or anything, but obviously our car was much better than this car here, and we are struggling right now. So I think we're just focusing on improving our lap time at Las Vegas. A bit of a practice session for us today, but let's fast forward. If anything happens, we'll stop there, but for the meantime, we're just cruising. Oh my god, Granny Joe going for the move, and he almost squeezes us right into the wall. We don't want another incident. We both had a DNF in Brazil from Charles Leclerc, but this is it. We are finishing last in this race. There's nothing I can do, man. There's nothing I can do. Maybe we can stay close to Granny Joe, but he's definitely a lot quicker than us, or we can go and try and get the spot back. For the time being, we're just going to take it nice and easy, and we squeeze Granny Joe. Just getting dirty out here. Elbows are out. Trying not to take last place, but he's storming back once again. And I don't know, I just feel like we are so slow. I don't understand how. Oh my god, we're still going wheel to wheel through turn one. And we got to go wide. We can go for a switchback. No, we are way too far back for a switchback. And now we're in the dirty air. But we're going to have DRS here, so maybe we could stay with them for the time being. Maybe try and get him down the straight once again. We're really closing in here. Wow, this is a really fast track with the DRS. Oh, and we're closing in on Granny Joe here. We're going to get the move back. Okay, so I think if we can stick with Granny Joe, maybe we won't take last place. We're going to have to make sure that we have DRS on the final lap of this race. Oh, we got a yellow. Granny Joe. Oh, Granny Joe's going slow. Granny Joe's going slow. Let me pit. No. Okay. No yellow flag. Granny Joe, I think he hit the wall or something. Granny Joe out of the session. Is that a safety car? So Granny Joe with a DNF here. Esteban Ocon's out of the session. Oh my god. Okay, we're moving up 2 spots here. We're going to get 2 free spots as Ocon is out, and that's great for the Drivers and Constructors Championship. As he is out of the session, I don't see his car. I think it disappeared as we drove by. No safety cars, though. A safety car would save us. That would be so good. But it's going to be good for the Constructors and the Drivers Championship, because we're 1 point in front of him, or 2 points in front of him, sorry. And now he's not going to get any points, and neither are we here, as we're on the last lap. Just cruising, putting in those laps, improving in this absolute tractor of a car. And just to prove my point, Ricardo has fallen down to P17, so he's not doing too well either. He started higher than me and lost some spots, so yeah, not a great race for us. Very forgettable. Kind of embarrassed to post this, if I'm being completely honest, because there was literally no action whatsoever, and we're just struggling here. Just a joyride for us today. Gonna make sure it's a short one for you guys, but Sergio Perez already wins the Grand Prix. We haven't even gotten to the straight, but as we head on to the straight, I guess we can just look forward towards the season finale, and then get the hell out of this piece of crap. We are not staying another season, I guarantee you that. Even if I wasn't going to try and go for a Red Bull seat, I would at least try to move sideways into another team that actually wanted to develop their car, because we did not develop our car. Well, we did develop our car, but relative to the other teams, we didn't develop our car at all this season. Very little upgrades. We are way behind everyone else in terms of performance or R&D, and that is part of the reason why we are suffering here. I have managed to scrape the absolute most out of this car, but let's cross the line. Not last, technically. I think on pace we were 100% last place, but 2 DNFs means we did not take last. We're going to finish P18 here in Vegas. So we started this weekend with an embarrassment and a poor qualifying, and we finished off the race, or the weekend, with another embarrassment, finishing in P18. Last car to finish, the Esteban Ocon, Guan Yu Zhou do not finish this race. Daniel Ricciardo just in front of us, and Sergio Perez goes on to win the race, which means going into the season finale here, Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen are going to be battling for the title. And if I'm being completely honest, we're going for Sergio Perez. I want him to secure one last title before, I think he might be retiring. No, that's in my team career mode. He's retiring. I think Lewis Hamilton is retiring in this one. So also looking forward to the driver transfers, but nothing too much to report here. The Alpine does Pierre Gasly finish in the points? No, Pierre Gasly does not finish in the points, so that's not going to affect our standings at all. We're 1 point ahead of Esteban Ocon. I made a mistake, and we were actually 1 point ahead, not 2 points. And then in the constructors, we are 2 points ahead with 9 points total. Alpine with 7, so they still have a chance to take my P11 in the Drivers' Championship, and they still have a chance to take our P6 in the constructors. But to be honest, with the amount of help that AlphaTauri has given me this season in this car, which is pretty much 0, I feel somewhat inclined to just let Alpine pass us, because they don't deserve that 10 million or however much it is. They don't deserve it. But that might affect my career, tanking a race intentionally. It's not going to look good for the other team, so we're going to have to try our best. But if we try our best and Alpine still takes the P6 from us in the constructors, then I will not give it a second thought. We are leaving this team as quick as possible. But back at the factory as well, Scuderia AlphaTauri still sitting with their feet kicked up on the desk. No upgrades coming in for the season finale. And I'm kind of surprised because we're only 2 points ahead of Alpine. And it's a few $1 million we're talking here if we can keep that P6. And they've just decided to give up pretty much since the midway point of the season in Silverstone. We have not brought in any significant upgrades. You can see there we're in the mix with the bottom end teams, and then into Qatar we just fall off the grid. The teams go way ahead of us in R&D. I was able to salvage a P9 Qatar because I'm pretty good at that track. It's a pretty easy track, but Mexico I'm horrible at, and on top of that we were just way too slow down the straights. Brazil, we all know what happened there, but we were still slow nonetheless. And then again in Vegas, we'll see what we could do in Abu Dhabi because we're not going to have any upgrades, it looks like. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. I apologize for the embarrassment of a performance this weekend, but we got one last race before we head into season 2 of our driver career mode, and hopefully it is a lot better of a season. We actually had a pretty good first half of the season, and then the second half we literally fell off a cliff, and we are nowhere near the back end of the grid. But if you guys have watched up to this point, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We just hit 300 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for that. And if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe so we can get to 400 subscribers next. But we got the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix finale after this one, and then we are finally headed to season 2. So hit the notification bell so you guys know when the season finale comes out and when we start season 2. In most likely, or I can probably say with 100% guarantee, we'll be in a much better car and we'll actually be able to compete for podiums, possibly wins. We'll see how the Red Bull is next season, assuming that we go there. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Have